Hello and welcome. This is the next video on from my clearing the paths in this wood. It's probably going to be story time, this one, because I'm a quarter of the way through ish, and I'll recount a little story, fairy stories actually, as we go. So let's head off. Look at that. Lovely. Can't think what tree that would be. Field maple maybe? Right, let's grab my bag. Now this is going to be a bit of a trek. Isn't that lovely too? The green buttress roots, beautiful, love it. Well, I don't know how easy it's going to be to walk through here. You can see I still got work to do. Whew. Okay, there's a huffing and puffing warning. Huffing, puffing and eking warning. Yeah. Basically going on autopilot, but I actually missed that the path comes up there to the left of that holly, in between the holly and hazel there, so I missed that. But luckily I do know where it goes. Yeah, there you go. Life in the woods is not as easy as people think. Oh, we've got to go up there. I think that's the path. And first I've got to make it across here. So wish me luck. Yes. It would be a lot easier if I didn't have a heavy bag of tools. All my best wood tools are in here. Bill hook, curving saw, secateurs, loppers, electric hedge cutter, gloves, ear defenders that I've had for probably nearly 30 years. That's how good they are. I don't know if the firm makes them anymore. A firm called Bilson. I'm not paid to do this, and they probably don't exist, but I've had them, yeah, the 90s I bought them, so they're nearly 30 years old for sure. I think that's, if you go up there, I think you head to the Hazel Grove. that will be on the video before this about clearing the paths, freeing the paths. I haven't really cleared them. What's the bird? There's a nice little place to sit, isn't it? Maybe that's where Titania and Bottom come. It's the only Shakespeare I know, because I did it all of my school life. You should know it off by heart then, shouldn't you, Mark? Yeah, you would think, wouldn't you? What I can do is put my hand in a position in a position of a hole. But how quickly 4 days will turn into nights. Okay, well this isn't too bad to this way, is it? But this isn't where I thought I was going to find it overgrown anyway. Hey Rebecca, I'm so pleased to hear them, both Mr. and Mrs. They've been saying hello to me most mornings when I come to this area. In fact, they even feed from my meadow. Don't know what they're eating. I thought it was ants, but there aren't many. Looks like a branch I'm going to have to sort out. I'll just do the minimum necessary. Okay, let's carry on. Oh, by the way, just like to point out that I stepped over that branch while I was filming. I just like to show off my dexterosity. Now we've got a problem here. Yeah. Now the path is cut off because of a fallen tree. Well, I'm not going to go that way. And I'm not going to cut it now. This is full. Is this chicken in the woods? No, it's Dryad Saddle, isn't it? I've watched this tree die. There's the oak grove up through there. But here, look at all these Dryad saddles. You can see how they might form into the Fairy Queen's throne, and even the King's throne, if there must be such hierarchy within the fairy kingdom. What do you think? I mean, isn't King and Queen a human construct? Okay, so I'll go a bit of work clearing that then, down there. Oh well. So that's for another day, at least I know now. I'm hoping it's not going to be too brambly where I'm headed, but because my energy is severely depleted now. Now we need to be on the other side. No. Well, that's one way of doing it. I didn't have a lot of choice then. Gravity took me. But you can see how wet it is. It's another channel of the spring. This is basically, this wood is actually the basin, spring basin for the brook. So everywhere you go, there's water coming down. Well, I've done from where I branched off from this path in the first video, and you'll see how far I've gone. I get carried away sometimes. I go and go, oh, I better do this bit, and reach a good point where I can stop, which I've done. I've made this one. There's an animal path going through there, look. I've made it thanks to the muntjac as well. It's obviously been going along these paths and keeping them so they're, you know, so I can recognise them as a path. There's a few things I've still got to come back here and do, but I've made this return path passable. Obviously, before it can be open to the public, this hung branch has got to be taken down and this tree made safe. Unfortunately it's a nice old one, but it is dead. It's sad to see there's a lot of dead ash. This is some from a while back, really, way before ash dieback. That's one of the splitting trunks that I talk about. I'm guessing it was the other end of this, but I don't know. You know, you never know. Well, yes, there's a story. Well, where shall I start? I'll start with the first one. I was working near the caravan, showman's wagon, and I was barrowing some things up. Might have been compost, something. But once you get past the caravan, there's a really nasty, tight corner on a steep slope. And if you're pushing something heavy, even going up in a car is difficult. Anyway, I've done this numerous times. Hello, Robin. And this one particular time, I was coming up, and there just ahead of me, probably as far away as that tree in the centre there, that big one, there was a little man, being, a male being, about 3 foot tall, with a proper stovepipe hat. Yeah, I mean, his hat must have been, what, a third of his height, or maybe more, but it was a proper wonky stovepipe, so it came up a bit and then changed angles and then straightened up again. Yeah, a proper fairy tale wonky stovepipe. And he looked and saw me, and so it kind of, well, he was waiting for me. And he kind of walked with me as I pushed up the hill. I haven't seen him since. It was quite strange because he was very Victorian looking. Yeah. But he wasn't. He was some forest spirit. He wasn't, I don't think he was a fairy or a pixie or an elf, not the classic type. He was a forest being. Anyway, I've never forgotten him, and sometimes I still feel him with me today, because I'm working in the same area. You know, I haven't gone far. Well, there's where we've just come from, and that's the grove that we just went in. You see, I've just made it passable. I haven't cleared it. I've just made it so there's no stinging nettles in the face or no brambles across the path. Nothing to trip you up. And we've just crossed another bit of the stream, the spring. Sometimes that really gurgles. I know that I've done videos where you can really hear it. I mean, you could hear it from here, gurgling really loudly. At some point, part of my job is going to be to clear up there. Some more ash has come down. These are going to fall. So before it can be opened, these have got to be cut down or made safe at least. So it can be quite dangerous being in here, certainly in wind. There's a bit of a breeze today. Now I had a bit of a problem locating the path from the first video, and where we went down to the ancient hazels. But coming from here to join it, if I come this way from the bottom up, I take a particular path, and if I come from the top down, I take another path, and they're never the same. There's another one of those interesting gullies, but there are videos where I film that, so. And maybe I'll come down another time when I've got energy for filming. But honestly, I am wiped out. I don't know if you can tell. That's a lot of work. I'm sure to sleep tonight, and if I don't sleep tonight, well, I'm not going to be in a good state next week if I don't. But I tend to come up this way and sort of follow what seems to be the path, but it isn't always the path. See, I think I cross here, well, because otherwise you're going over that branch which is trippable, and this is just a little dip and we're up here. See all these gullies, water in there, water in that one, water comes down from up there, I think. But this is like, when it's wet, there is proper ribboning here, you know, when water channels and streams and rivers split into many sort of bits. Well, it does that here. It's called ribboning. Now, if you imagine you get a load of ribbon, tie it all together, and then gyrate the bits that are left, the free bits, so that they cross and uncross and do what they want. That's kind of, and almost let it tangle if you like, and that's ribboning. You can see it in places like, I think it's Newbury. Is it Newbury or Reading? One of the two, or both, have that quite obvious. I love these trees, just really love them. Well, the other story involves the same place where the caravan is, and my friend who owns it. Well, when I used to sleep in the caravan, literally by my bed, by my head, no more than a couple of feet away, outside, was a hazel tree. And it always felt quite nice to be laying my head there and feel protected, you know, by this tree. And I always felt like there was a being living in it. Yeah, I could feel them. Maybe they even talked to me, you know. Maybe we conversed. I think we did. I was so used to things like that, I didn't think anything of it. You know? Other people think that's mad. That's, for me, that's kind of normal. I better make sure I grab the rest of my tools. Anyway, someone was staying there and talking to the lady who owns the place, and they were talking about spirits and beings and things. And this woman who was staying there, she said, oh, what, you mean like that thing that follows Mark around everywhere? And they said, what do you mean? And they said, well, it's this kind of little hairy thing that just follows Mark around everywhere he goes. Whether that was the spirit of the hazel tree or not, I don't know, but I never saw that. That wasn't something I saw. Right, I better pick up my tools before I go and leave them there. And then I can make my way out. Well, thank you, Wood. I hope that has benefited you as much as it has me. I did a little bit of pulling of Himalayan balsam. I found a patch that wasn't near any others, and it was big enough for me to pull them all out without and make a difference, because that's one of the things that you've got to do. Basically, my theory behind it all, anything like that invasive stuff, is to just contain it. So if there are clumps, then do those clumps, and then you contain it to a bigger area, and then what you can then do is just go around the outside of the bigger area and make it smaller. And we exit a portal that we entered a fire. And if you didn't see it, have a look at the video of the first part. Well, thanks for coming along. I hope I'm not looking too dishevelled. Hope you enjoyed the Faerie stories as well. So don't forget, like, subscribe, share, comment. Check out the links below. Sign up for a healing walk, sign up for a healing session, sign up for a guided walk. Donate if you want to. Everything helps, and see you next time. Ta-da. This bit is mighty slippy. God, that's got to be worth a like, hasn't it? Hey. What I've had to do most of the day is do a bit of cutting, take the tools to the end where I finished cutting, move my tool bag, move my rucksack, get the camera. So I have probably walked through this wood 3 or 4 times today.